Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Today we're discussing, can Limitless make the Birmingham Major for RLCS 25? Is it possible, and most importantly, is it feasible? We're going to discuss some scenarios and maybe their best chance at truly making it to Birmingham. Guys, by the way, if you're an RLCS fan or even especially an SSA fan, please drop a subscription. I am working tirelessly to put some really good coverage out this season for the region, so I'd really appreciate a like and a sub. It would help me out a lot. But in order to cut to the chase and talk about this, we got to talk about points. Top of the points for this split makes Birmingham. It's that simple. The Maestros made up of X-Team Mobula, 2/3 of them, with the insertion of Torres over Rubik's, but BKC and Leoro, that's your Maestros team. They've won both events. They are well at the top at 30. Limitless is the only team that can catch them. The reason for that is the most points you can earn is 15 points. And Hayes at third place with 14. That is 16 away from the Maestros. So they have no ability, even if the Maestros DQ, to make that spot. Limitless have to win. They absolutely have to win, because if Maestro's top 16 is guaranteed, which means they're at least getting 1 point. If Limitless even come in second and get another 10, that is not enough to catch the Maestro. So keep that in mind. For Limitless to make Birmingham, they have to win Open number 3. But what would the Maestros have to do for them to make it? Let's look at a playoff situation. This is Open number 2. We're just going to use it as an example. If the Maestros get top 4, they secure Birmingham. Okay, they've gathered enough points. Limitless cannot catch them. That is a Maestros lock. If Maestros get knocked out at the 5th through 6th stage, that will force a tiebreaker. T for tiebreaker. And a tiebreaker will happen at the very end of the event. A best of 7 between the two teams. Whoever wins gets the spot. Finally, if the Maestros perform 7th through 8th or worse, and of course Limitless win the event, then Limitless secures the major. So those are your scenario. Those are your outcomes and what would happen if Maestros end at these spots. Now we have to talk about, yes, Limitless can make the major, but is any of this feasible? Could Maestros perform outside of the top 4? Well, there are 3 scenarios for this to happen. So let's cover the scenarios first, and then we'll talk about the practicality of them, okay? And this is all assuming that Maestros make it through Swiss, because why wouldn't they? It's just not going to happen. Them getting knocked out in Swiss. So option number 1 is Maestros get knocked out in GSL. They lose to maybe a peaking trifecta or a great team that didn't do as well in Swiss. Almost happened here. But then they get knocked out. They lose in the lower bracket as well. Option number 2 is Maestros lose in the GSL stage, and then they make it into playoffs through the lower bracket. And so they lose lower bracket 1, or they lose the lower bracket quarterfinals. But option number 3, and probably the most likely, is that Maestros do top 4 through the GSL stage. They make it to the upper bracket quarterfinals, but they lose this match, and then they lose this lower bracket match. They lose 2 in a row to be knocked out and force a tiebreaker from Limitless after they win the event, if that were to all to happen. Now, the reason that these options are really unlikely for any of them to happen is because, in my opinion, there are 2, maybe 3 teams that can beat the Maestros in SSA. That is my opinion. I know we just saw Trifecta take them to Game 5 in GSL stage, but I'm telling you, Limitless and Hay are the only team that can really have a chance of beating the Maestros. Cosmico, maybe on the right field on the right day. So what does that mean? If only 3 teams can realistically beat the Maestros, could those 2 matches happen? Here's the scenario where that happens. And actually, the golden ticket event was Open number 1. What needs to happen is 2 of those big 3 teams that could beat Maestros have to face off in the upper bracket semis of GSL. Why is that the case? Well, I'll tell you. Cosmico beat Hay, which means Hay is going to qualify to playoffs, but through the lower bracket. So when you look at playoffs, Maestros will realistically play a top 4, top 5, whoever team, potentially lose that match, and then they'd face up against one of the big 3 in the lower bracket. So the idea is that the big 3, 2 of them meet each other in GSL, meaning that the Maestros, if they do lose this top 4 match, they also face a tougher team here. It's not that likely to happen though, and the reason for that is Open number 2, your big 3 all swept Swiss. Hey did it here, Cosmico did it here, Limitless did it here. If everyone sweeps Swiss, there's no chance for them to meet in that scenario of the group stage, because Cosmico leads this side of the bracket, Hey leads this side of the bracket, so on and so forth. You get the idea. They're split up in group stage. You're only going to meet in these seeding matches. So essentially what you need is for these big 3 teams to falter in Swiss and then meet up later in GSL. It's basically a really convoluted puzzle for it to all happen, but in the end it is feasible. By the way, disclaimer, in no way am I saying that teams should try to coordinate some madness. I truly believe with the Swiss stage, GSL stage, and playoffs with the hybrid elimination, no team can coordinate this or snipe a team. Like we did see in the last season with SSA, a team did get caught for that and got banned for it with the single elimination playoffs and how you can operate the seeding. It's just not possible with the double elimination format at this point. So in no way am I saying the team should try to navigate the bracket. Limitless maybe can find a way to do it. No, they can't. That's not what I'm saying. Simply, I'm putting this out so that the viewer, so that you can keep an eye out for these scenarios to know how truly Limitless could make Birmingham. Because probably a lot of people want to know, is it possible? And, well, now you know that it's incredibly unlikely, but it's possible. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it made sense. If it didn't, leave a comment. Ask me all about it. Let me know as well what you want to see. Like I said, I'm covering the region between game analysis, predictions, power rankings, tier listing, videos like this explaining the format. What else do you want? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for listening. Sub, like, help me out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.